There's nothing like being behind the wheel of a brand new car, or in this case, a crossover, the Honda CRV. I mean, just look at this interior. It has everything. It has soft touch dashboard. Wait, is that Reagan from Reagan's Rides?
Hey bro, nice CRV!
Hey, thanks man. This thing has everything. It has leather seats.
Well, this has Napa leather.
Wow, well, this has a digital instrument panel, man.
Yeah bro, same here. I also have a digital instrument panel.
This has a 7-inch infotainment system.
Well, that's great bro, but I have a 12.3-inch infotainment system.
Wow.
Anyway, gotta go man.
Alright man, see ya. Wow, talk about bursting my bubble. So which one really is better? The veteran Honda CRV or the rookie Geely Azkarra? Well, stay tuned to find out. Now, I've already done an in-depth review of both the Geely Azkarra and the Honda CRV, and you can click here or the link in the description below if you want to watch those episodes. And don't worry, this is not going to be a rerun. What I'm going to focus more on today would be the key differences between the two in terms of aesthetics, features, usability, and of course, performance. Starting with the exterior, you'll find that the differences in their dimensions are hardly noticeable. While the Azkarra is 34mm taller, the CRV is 24mm wider and 52mm longer. It also has a higher ground clearance of 35mm compared to the Azkarra. At the front, both crossovers get LED headlamps and DRLs. Along the side, the Azkarra sports a more modern and sophisticated look thanks to its floating roof design. The CRV's profile is a bit more conventional, but that's not such a bad thing. Both crossovers roll on 18-inch wheels. Looks are subjective, so I'll leave it to you to decide which of these two are aesthetically more pleasing to you. But I will say that the Azkarra does a better job of integrating its cameras compared to the CRV. At the back, both the CRV and Azkarra get LED taillights, but only the Azkarra has flowing signal lights. The Azkarra also gets dual exhausts. Personally, I think the CRV has better proportions, which gives it a more pleasing silhouette. However, I also think that the Azkarra looks a bit more upscale. Both the CRV and Azkarra have a very well-appointed and modern interior. In terms of the quality of materials, there's just no denying that the Azkarra has the fancier one. And it's not just the Napa leather. Everything from the soft touch materials used on the dash and door panels to the aluminum touches on the switches just make the interior of the Azkarra a more special place to be in. The CRV's interior does not feel bland by any sense, but the fake wood and stitching doesn't really help its attempt to feel more premium. And while the buttons and switches of the CRV feel solid and sturdy, they're no match for the switchgear found in the Azkarra in terms of attention to detail. As far as the quality of materials is concerned, the CRV's interior simply doesn't hold a candle to the Azkarra's. Moving on to features, both crossovers are extremely well equipped. If you like niceties like a digital instrument cluster, a touchscreen infotainment system, dual zone climate control, and an electronic gear selector, then you won't be disappointed with either of the two crossovers. However, if you want added party tricks, you'll really love the Azkarra's ambient lighting, wireless charge pad, cooled center console, and various drive modes, which also changes the display of your instrument cluster based on the mode you select. Now, the CRV may not have as many bells and whistles, but it has always been the class leader in terms of space and functionality. It offers an abundance of storage space and more adjustability for the second row seats. The Azkarra's rear seats offers decent space, but seating capacity is maxed out to 5 passengers. The CRV can sit an additional 2 occupants due to the fact that you also get third row seats. These seats can be easily tucked away to give you 472 liters of trunk space, which is a whopping 152 liters more than what you get with the Azkarra. Moving on to the power plant, the CRV and Azkarra are alike in the sense that they both attempt to strike a balance between power and efficiency. However, they execute that rather differently. While both crossovers have small displacements and use forced induction to increase engine power, the CRV comes with a 1.6-liter diesel engine that has 120 horsepower and 300 Nm of torque. This engine is mated to a 9-speed automatic gearbox. The Azkarra, on the other hand, comes with a 1.5-liter gasoline engine that has 190 horsepower and the same amount of torque as the CRV. This engine is mated to a 7-speed wet-type dual-clutch transmission. So I've already reviewed the CRV and the Azkarra on previous episodes. So on this episode, I'm really just going to highlight the differences between the two. So let's start off by talking about power. And as you know, this has a 1.6-liter diesel engine that only pumps out 120 horsepower, but it makes up for it with 300 Nm of torque, which is similar to what you get in the Geely Azkarra. So as far as power delivery is concerned, there aren't any issues. The moment you put your foot down, the engine will respond quite adequately. However, the fact that it is a diesel engine means it'll only rev up to 4,500 RPM. Now, bundle that with the 9-speed automatic, those short gears will allow it to rev very quickly. But that low red line means that it'll keep shifting when you accelerate hard. And that kind of kills the fun. Now the Azkarra does have a higher rev limit because of its gasoline engine, and that means it's a bit more fun to drive when accelerating. Now, even if this has a 7-speed dual clutch transmission, it doesn't exactly feel sporty, because even when you have it on manual mode like I do now, it auto upshifts. And when you select gears yourself, there's the slightest delay. But the thing is, the Azkarra doesn't have aspirations of being sporty. It's really geared to be a comfortable and refined cruiser. And it does that extremely well. Thanks to its quiet cabin, its luxurious interior, plus the fact that the ride is really comfortable and the steering is really light, which makes it a breeze to drive. You could take a 3-hour trip in this thing and it would feel like 30 minutes. So as far as steering is concerned, the steering feel of the CRV is a bit more weighted compared to what you get in the Azkarra. So overall, the CRV feels a bit better to steer, mainly because it has a quicker steering ratio and a more pronounced off-center feel. But both crossovers are extremely comfortable. The suspension is soft and extremely compliant. But in terms of NVH, the fact that the noise from the diesel engine does creep in for the CRV makes the Azkarra a bit more pleasant and refined to cruise in. But regardless of which of these two crossovers you ride in, or choose to buy for that matter, you really can't go wrong, because they both offer exceptional comfort and are extremely easy to use. And to most of the people in the market for a crossover, that's really what matters the most. So the Geely Azkarra luxury 4-wheel drive that we tested today costs 1,598,000 pesos, while this costs 1,868,000 pesos. Now that's a 270,000 peso price difference. However, it is worth noting that this is a bit more frugal compared to the Azkarra. Now don't get me wrong, both have extremely impressive fuel consumption.
But this can get you 10 to 18 kilometers per liter in the city and up to 24 kilometers per liter on the highway. The Geely Azkarra can get you 8 to 13 kilometers per liter in the city and 20 kilometers per liter on the highway. So that's still a huge difference, not to mention the fact that diesel costs a tad bit less compared to gas.
So which is the better choice? Well, if you hold a high regard for a luxurious interior and refinement in your drive and a bit more power, then the Azkarra is the clear winner. However, it's hard to dismiss the fact that the CRV can fit more people and is a bit more frugal. So clearly, the CRV is the logical choice. But if you were to let your emotions decide, you might just end up with the Azkarra.